Hey guys, MTAGTV is back and I'm joined by my boy Srini and Adi. We're all twinning today, so give us a shout out and please subscribe right now. Before further ado, let's get into it. We're going to make our non-top 6 Premier League 11. And Adi, explain the rules.
Yes, sir, we are back. Okay, the rules are pretty simple, so just keep up. We have 3 players for each position. Every single person gets one turn between the 3 of us, and that person has the final say, but the other 2 still get a say in why that player should be picked. The final pick is in the hands of ultimately whose turn it is. Also, we have a cap of 3 players from each team just to keep things a bit fresh and spice it up. So I think that pretty much explains it. Let's get it straight into it.
Okay guys, let's kick things off with the goalkeeper spot. We have Emi Martinez, Nick Pope and Sam Johnson in our nominees. And to be fair guys, I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? It has to be Emi Martinez.
Has to be, man. Emi Martinez is the best keeper in the league, let alone outside the top 6. So, yeah, Emi Martinez, let's not waste time here.
Yeah, I mean, pretty unanimous, completely agree. Even on Villa's worst day, he's their best player. So, yeah, testament to it.
That's wrapped up quickly. Emi Martinez in the goalkeeper for us. Let's move on to the interesting bits. Come on.
So guys, we are going to be looking at the right backs now for this team. Of course, we have 3 options for this one. We have Vladimir Kufal. Yes, his first name is Vladimir. We thought it was Sufal. But anyway, it was Sofian, sorry. Anyway. And the other options we have are, of course, Matty Cash and Luke Ayling of Leeds United. So, Adi, let's go to you first for this one. Who's your pick?
It's a tough one, man. It's a toss-up between Ayling and Matty Cash for me, but I think Cash just edges it. He's been one of the standout performers apart from Jack Grealish in that Villa team. So I think, yeah, Matty Cash for me. Ritvik, you?
I don't agree with you, bro. Luke Ayling is the only defender in that Leeds backline. He's the only player who can defend and he carries the ball forward. He gets into that deep. So it has to be Luke Ayling for me. He is the reason I feel Leeds don't concede as much as they do. They even after they do concede so much, I still feel Luke Ayling prevents a lot of those goals along with Ian Mellier. So defending first, that's what defenders do. I feel he's to be there. Sri? Tell us.
I don't agree, man. I think Luke Ayling has had a very good season, but then I don't rate him as a top defender. And you know what? I agree with Adi. Matty Cash has been absolutely brilliant this season. And if England didn't have 100,000 right backs, I think he'd possibly even make it to the England squad. So yeah, for me, I am going to go for Matty Cash for this one. Luke Ayling and his man bun can do one. So yeah, Matty Cash.
All right, guys, we're into the left back position now. 3 options: Matt Targett, James Justin, Aaron Cresswell. Ritvik, I'm going to go for you first.
Ooh, this is tough between Justin and Cresswell. I think I'll have to go for Cresswell. I mean, highest assists as a defender this season for any Premier League club. He's carrying West Ham over there. West Ham aren't supposed to be where they are. Leicester might still be there. They're supposed to be there. Now they're a Big 6 team, I feel. So yeah, he has a fantastic left foot and simple as that. He's got the assist. He's got the output.
For me personally, I disagree with you once again. I have to go for James Justin for this one. The fact that he's naturally a right back, he's playing on the left, he's right-footed and super unlucky to get that ACL. He's been defensively extremely solid. And yeah, James Justin, another one who's unlucky to miss out on an England berth this time around. So James Justin for me. Adi, for you?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. James Justin would have definitely been my number 1 pick. I love that kid. Shame he has an ACL. I think he would have been one of the standout players of the year. But, you know, honestly, Aaron Cresswell just edges it for me because this guy is played centre back. He's played left back. He's got West Ham up there. So I'm really sorry, James Justin. Love you, brother, but it's Aaron Cresswell, man. Let's get into the next one.
Let's go.
So guys, moving on to our first centre back. On the right-hand side, we have our younglings in Ben Godfrey, Wesley Fofana and Ezri Konsa. Sri, your pick.
Has to be Wesley Fofana, man. He has been one of the best young centre-backs on the planet. Even though they've got the likes of Soyuncu and Evans who have been injured, Fofana's not even shown that he's sort of missing those experienced guns in the side. And yeah, I think Fofana is top dog for me. But a little shout out to, of course, my boy Ben Godfrey. He's played right back as well. He's played centre-back. He's played left back. Came in from a championship side and he's not looked like that at all. He's been absolutely fantastic. And you know what? I think he is an outside shout for the Euros as well with his pace and how good he is on the ball. So yeah, Ben Godfrey, shout out to him, but Wesley Fofana wins that for me. Adi, who's your pick?
Wesley Fofana, definitely, man. I mean, like you said, the injuries that Leicester have had, I think the most injured side of Liverpool, and he's really stepped up. So huge testament to him. Really raised his stock, and yeah, he's part of an amazing French generation that's coming through. So sky's the limit for him, man. Ritvik?
Yeah, man, Wesley Fofana, definitely. He's done everything that Ozan Kabak cannot do. Yeah, but yeah, it has to be him. She said everything. He said everything. Yeah, and yeah, no other choice. Has to be him. Perfect.
Yeah, and just a little point on Ezri Konsa, again an outside shout for the Euros. He's been fantastic, and to me, he's definitely better than Tyrone Mings. I had to get that in there. So yeah, man.
Yeah, I think it's just because Mings has a left foot. That's why Southgate prefers him. Otherwise, definitely he's much better.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, guys, let's move on to the next segment. So guys, Wesley Fofana slots straight in, but we have to pick another centre back, and our options are Lewis Dunk, Michael Keane, and Tyrone Mings. So yeah, a couple of really, really top centre backs. Adi, I'm gonna go to you for this one. Who's your pick?
My pick is gonna come as a bit of a surprise, but it is Tyrone Mings. I'm gonna have my Gareth Southgate glasses on. But don't give me those looks. Hold on. He's been a real shoo-in for Villa this year. Testament. I mean, Gareth Southgate obviously sees that. He's got the England call-up, and he's pretty much bang on going to the Euros. So, his performances have been solid. I wouldn't say he's been an absolute standout. He's been efficient. Villa were up there floating in and about the top 7 for quite a bit. And yeah, definitely the pick for me.
I will not agree with you, man. It has to be Lewis Dunk. I mean, you look at him. He's so tall. He's so strong. He's great on the ball. He's great tackling. He scores those headers. He's a leader, and he's everything you want from a centre back. He's old school, and he can adapt to new changes. So, he is the perfect carbon copy of Harry Maguire, I would say. Similar to him in a lot of ways. And yeah, if Maguire gets injured, I want him to be the one to replace him and not Tyrone Mings on the left-hand side. Yeah. I
mean, I totally second that. I think that Lewis Dunk is my pick as well, because I think Lewis Dunk would complement someone like a John Stones or even a Joe Gomez really well. As you said, he's an absolute leader. He's one of those defenders that can sort of play behind the other centre back who goes forward like Diaz and Stones, if that makes sense. So I think Lewis Dunk is such a good leader. I think he can slot in straight in any of the top 6 sides. And yeah, man, definitely better than Tyrone Mings, who, as I said, is not even better than Ezri Konsa, let alone the best out of this category. So yeah, man, Lewis Dunk gets the dub, and
Adi gets an L.
Adi gets an L, man. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so that's our backline sorted. We're into the CDM positions. Also, I cannot believe Lewis Dunk is in this 11, but let's just ignore that for now. CDM options are Declan Rice, Wilfred Ndidi, and Calvin Phillips. Ritvik, I'm coming to you first.
As my boy Sri says, Basmati Busquets, Declan Rice makes it for me. He's been an absolute leader for West Ham. He's taken over the armband from Mark Noble. He transitions the play, and he is irreplaceable even for West Ham and for England. So nothing else speaks more. It has to be him. Sri, I hope you agree.
Yeah, I definitely agree, man. Declan Rice, Basmati Busquets has been one of the best CDMs in the league for sure. And to do that at such a young age, to replace someone as irreplaceable as Mark Noble, who is going to leave at the end of the season, just speaks volumes. Absolutely fantastic season. But a little shout out to Ndidi. I know the reason why Ndidi doesn't get the pick is because he's been injured. Otherwise, he's probably the best player out of these 3, let's be honest. But yeah, man, Declan Rice is probably low-key England's MVP, because if he goes, his replacements of Phillips and Hendo, and as good as they are, you won't find a better CDM who's English in the league. So yeah, man, or in England in general. So Declan Rice wins that for me. Adi, who is your pick?
Well, I mean, these guys have left me with absolutely nothing to say. I'm going to copy-paste your arguments, and it's easily Declan Rice, man. Calvin Phillips, I don't think he's as quality as Declan Rice or even Ndidi. Ndidi, shout out to him, very under-the-radar player for Leicester. Doesn't get the plaudits that the other Leicester players get. But I think Rice edges that for me. Brilliant player. And yeah, not just future West Ham captain, maybe England captain in the future. So yeah, Rice, let's move.
Very good. Our DM sorted, and now for our box-to-box midfielder, we have Yuri Tielemans, Yves Bissouma, and Thomas Soucek, aka Zinedine Zidane. As Sri says, I'm sorry, Sri, I'm copying you a lot today. But yeah, Sri, go for it.
Yeah, man. I think Zizou Soucek has to win that, because he's been so brilliant this season. No one would have expected this come up from him, even though he plays in a double pivot. And guys, surprise, surprise, he is my pick. The number of goals he scored, To call him a Fellaini regen is a little bit disrespectful, but because I think he does so much more than that. So he is my pick, but a little shout out to my boy, Yves Bissouma, fantastic player, can slot into those top 6 sides as well. He is the definition of a box-to-box midfielder. And yeah, man, I think he's been Brighton's standout player alongside Lewis Dunk. So yeah, excellent player, but yeah, Souček wins that for me. Adi?
Yeah, great Bissouma. I think the fact that he's being linked to the likes of Liverpool for a potential transfer is a huge testament to the performance he's put in for a Brighton side. But my pick has to be Souček, man. This guy's got the output coming in from Slavia Praha to the best league in the world, and week in, week out, being the most consistent performer alongside Rice it's brilliant to watch him. And yeah, Ritvik, anything to add?
Yeah, man, has to be Souček. You look at Rice and Souček, they were nothing last season. They've come in, they haven't played together, and they've made West Ham reach 4th, which is just, it's not even, you can't think, you don't plan out this stuff. Yeah, has to be Thomas Souček, man. He scores those headers, he makes those tackles, he runs so much, and he's so smart. He plays with his brain. That's the best part about being a midfielder. But yeah, I'm just going to give a small shout out to Youri Tielemans, who is very young, very good, makes no errors at all, and has stepped up when Maddison's out and Barnes is out. He's leading the line, he's making those plays. Yeah. So we've got a man in Souček, right? Let's go on.
Souček, man.
Yeah, attacking mid, let's go.
Guys, Thomas Souček and Declan Rice make the double pivot of this midfield, if you will. But of course, we have to pick the baller right in front of them. We have 3 options. It's the battle of the James or the Jameses. That gives it away, really. We have Ahmed Rodriguez, we have James Ward-Prowse, and of course, we have James Maddison. So guys, this is a really, really fun section. Adi, who are you going for, man?
Well, my pick is going to surprise a few of you. The name is James ... Ahmed Rodriguez. He's gonna. That headline, shout out to it. Elite Times of India, you're the king, man. But anyway, coming back to the business end of our picks, Ahmed Rodriguez has been his quality when Everton first started the season. Absolutely one of the standout players. He was getting player of the months left, right, and centre. Easily that Everton's best player, and when they were still up there for those first 4-5 months. Tailed off only because of his injuries, by the way. And since he's come back, he's been fantastic last maybe month and a half. So James Rodriguez, for me, does a lot for the team that goes unnoticed now. But yeah, Ritvik?
For me, it is James ... Maddison. I mean, dude, his touch is so beautiful, his shots are so beautiful, his passing is so beautiful. He's been constantly on the rise. He's not had a dip in form ever since making it to the Leicester 11, and it's just sad that he's injured and he has to miss out on the Euros maybe. But yeah, his all-round play, his ability is fantastic. He reminds me of a young David Silva with a better shot. But obviously I'm not comparing him, I'm just saying this reminds me of how he plays, a bit. So yeah, 3.
First of all, guys, the headline joke, we don't think that's a great headline. We think it's the worst headline of all time, which is why it's elite. Also, Madders, David Silva, let's not even. But I agree with you on the Madders shout. Madders is definitely my pick. I was trying to be nice to Adi and not sort of react to the James pick, but there is no way James Rodriguez gets in this team. It's easily James Maddison, such a fantastic player. Just the source of creativity in that team alongside Youri Tielemans. He scored so many goals in 2021. And if it wasn't for his injuries, he'd probably have a better season and definitely be a shoo-in for the Euros. But yeah, life isn't always fair. But yeah, Matters for me. Adi, do you want to add something to that?
Yeah, I mean, I understand why you guys are picking Matters, but he's only risen up since January. He wasn't injured before January. He did nothing for Leicester before that. Yes, he had a very exponential rise like that when he came in. But I wouldn't say he was consistent. He was good until his form really picked up. If it takes you 6 months to pick up a form in the Premier League, that's not good enough, man. James, off the bat, with the second he came in, was off the charts. But anyway, man, you guys go for James.
I mean, if there's no output, doesn't mean he's not consistent. He still plays well. Leicester were winning games. That's the most important thing. Even if he's not there on the score sheet or on the assist sheet, whatever.
Until January, he wasn't even in the starting 11s. Then when suddenly he had 2-3 good performances, Roger started playing him in. So I don't know,
guys, these guys are going to argue forever. But what I want to say is that I agree with Adi's shout about him not being consistent, but then he was injured. But then in 2021, he has made up for it. So there's no real winner here, but there actually is, because it is matters. So guys, that's us done. Let's move on to the front three.
Okay, guys, final three positions up for grabs now. We're at left wing. This is the big one. Harvey Barnes, Jack Grealish, and Pedro Neto are our picks. Srini, I'm going to come to you first.
Are we doing this? Are we actually doing this? Jack Grealish is not easily our number one choice. Everyone thinks we're going to do a retake, but not. It is Jack Grealish, guys. Come on, we don't have to prep for this one. I mean, come on, man. He is easily the best player to watch in the Premier League. The way, I mean, when he's injured, I mean, Villa don't even look like the same team. They look like a bottom 5 team. Jack Grealish has been absolutely exquisite this season for me. And for me, he starts for England, man. Shout out to Marcus Rashford. You're doing a lot off the pitch, but Jack Grealish is the outstanding forward in the Premier League for me. A little shout out to, of course, who are the other names? Of course, Harvey Barnes. He's been injured, but again, he's increased his output. His finishing is great this season, which is something he was lacking. But yeah, man, Jack Grealish, my guy, has to be in there. Ritvik, for you?
Yeah, man, completely agree with you. You said it all, I feel. But yeah, Jack Grealish, that boy he has everything a winger needs to have, as well as having everything a midfielder needs to have, which is just outstanding if you think about it. He can play in the mid, he can play on the left wing, he has the output, he has the dribbling, he has everything, he has the strength. Yeah, just easily the best player in the Prem to watch. Favorite player.
I mean,
yeah.
I wouldn't say Jack Grealish is absolutely clear, just in my opinion, but Harvey Barnes is really pushing him for that position. Yes, my pick is Jack Grealish, has to be. Brilliant player. Doesn't have amazing output, but that's not his game. The way he lifts his side, not even just as a captain, but just as a player, the flair he brings to any side is brilliant. And again, he will get into almost all the top 6 sides. But shout out to Harvey Barnes, man. Absolutely fantastic. Leicester have had players who have been off colour. They haven't been consistent. Vardy, Maddison, Tielemans, even Perez. And this guy has really risen up when those big names haven't. So huge shout out to him. But I think 51-49, Grealish edges it for me. And yeah.
Also, Pedro Neto, man. Pedro Neto. That he's had.
You want to give a shout out to him?
Yeah, he's had a breakout season. He should be there for for Portugal in the Euros, and it's so sad that he got injured yesterday, which he has. See, Traore hasn't performed this season. They lacked Jimenez, and he's been their leading man in that front three.
Yeah.
Therefore,
totally agree with you. One of the best young players in the Premier League, but I think Jack Grealish is just quite clear at the top. So yeah, Jack Grealish wins that for me. Guys, what do you think? Do you think Jack Grealish should not be in there? If you have a controversial take, please comment that below. But I think Grealish for us is clear. Let's move on to the next section.
Side of the front three, we have Leandro Trossard, we have Rafinha, and we have Jared Bowen from West Ham. This is going to be interesting. Yeah, Adi, I'm going to go to you first.
Well, I mean, it's easy pick for me, man. Rafinha, this guy, what a baller, man. Like, I know we like using this term regen. He's a Adel Tarap and Hatem Ben Arfa regen, man. What a player. So silky smooth on the ball when you watch him. And yeah, it's just the way he carries the ball forward, his link-up play with Bamford. He brings so much to that lead side. It's fantastic to watch. So easily a pick for me. Srini?
Yeah, man, I think Rafinha is probably going to win this one. And I think his crossing as well is really underrated for Paddy Bamford. But you know what? I'm going to go for my boy Leandro Trossard. He's not technically a right winger. So if you guys go crazy in the comments, we know he's not. He's kind of like a 10, but he roams on that sort of right channel and he's really, really good. The way he creates chances for his teammates, the way he's always in that half space to, wreak absolute havoc. Just a brilliant player. And it's a testament to him that he's playing for Belgium, even though he plays for Brighton. Like Belgium has such an elite attack and Leandro Trossard gets picked and starts so many games. So shout out to him, man, an excellent player. And if the Brighton strikers were not stealing a living, I mean, Brighton would be doing so much better. And you can say the same for Trossard. So that's my pick. But Ritvik, I assume you're going to go for Rafinha. Let's be honest.
Yeah, man, I love him, dude. Unpopular opinion, but I think he's the most creative player Leeds has. When you need something, when you need to create something out of nothing, it has to be him. It is from the right-hand side when he cuts in and he makes those passes. He has a great vision and he can dribble, he can shoot. He's been up there. It's his first season. How many people break out in their first season in the Prem coming from another league? Not many, right? Yeah, it has to be Rafinha. So yeah, we have our wingers there. Let's go on to our striker.
Done. Let's go. All right, guys, last position to pick, and that is, of course, the all-important number 9. We have 3 really, really good candidates for this one. We have Dominic Calvert-Lewin, DCL. We have Paddy Bamford, as I mentioned in the last section. And, of course, we also have Ollie Watkins. So, Adi, who are you going for, man? Tough choices.
That's a really tough choice. I think it's a toss-up for me between DCL and the Tory Torres, as they call him, Patrick Bamford.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I'm going to go for Bamford, actually, not Calvert-Lewin. He, coming from the championship, had a lot of haters. He's proven wrong to some extent. Brilliant player. His output has been fantastic. And even the games that he doesn't get the goals or the assists, it's his link-up play that really brings that entire Leeds setup together. They're a phenomenal team to watch going forward, and I think that's all down to people like Rafinha and Patrick Bamford. So yeah, he's definitely my pick. That's a pick.
Completely agree with you, man. He's an all-round player. He's a great player as well as being a great finisher, which makes the cut for me. I don't think DCL is the best player, but he's a great finisher. I mean, just in terms of like a footballing ability-wise, he's a great finisher. Don't mind that. But yeah, has to be Patrick Bamford. I love Leeds. I love how he plays. I love his finishing. I love his runs, and he's such a hard worker, man. You look at him. If you look at him, you're not gonna realize how hard he works because he doesn't look like someone. He looks like a fancy player, but he's so hardworking, dude. Yeah, has to be him. Sri?
You guys do remember that it is my veto, right? So I could go for someone else. And you know what? Again, shout out to Ollie Watkins, by the way. To come for such a relatively expensive fee and to prove and to, score so many goals against the big teams, he's an absolutely brilliant player. Again, it's very tough between Paddy Bamford and DCL, but I'm going to go for DCL. I love Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I've mentioned this before on our videos. He has a CR7-esque leap. He's a fantastic player. You mentioned that his all-round game is not great. I don't agree with that at all. The way he runs those channels, the way he wins those headers, he is an absolute nightmare to deal with. And after Harry Kane, he is, England's best striker. And while I don't rate Southgate, I kind of do understand why he's picked, man like DCL over Bamford for the Euro squad. So shout out to Bamford. He's an excellent player. The Tory Torres and all of that. Ousmane Dembele is a massive fan of his, but DCL wins that for me. Guys, actually, you settle this. Paddy Bamford or DCL? Because both arguments make sense for me. I'm just, kidding around with the DCL thing. But yeah, DCL wins that for me, guys. So yeah, I think that's our team done. Adi, do you want to sign us off?
Yes, sir. Let's do it. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're still here at the end of the video, we're putting out a lot of great content just like this for you guys. Make sure you please check out all our videos so far. We're doing a lot of crazy stuff. Let us know what you guys want to see in the comments below. Srini, get us finally signed off.
Yeah, man, we're doing a little tiki-taka one-touch thingy. That's the vibe right here. But guys, thank you so much for watching. As Adi said, comment below if you agree with us, if you disagree, and of course, check the link in the description below because you have to check the More Than a Game website. It is absolutely elite with articles on so many brilliant sports. Keep an eye out for our videos. Press the notification bell. Follow us on Insta, Twitter, Facebook, all of that. Do this all day and every day. Follow your boys in the socials. And we move.